Women say they want a man who's emotionally available, so most men clear their schedules and give her unlimited attention. But the moment you actually do that, she loses respect for you. Why? Because constant availability signals one thing, that you have no other choice. So in this video, I'm going to show you why your fear of losing her guarantees you will, the exact moment your attention becomes worthless, and the fatal mistake that sets up everything else to fail. Now, let's start with the one most men don't even realize they're doing. You're afraid of losing her. Think about it. You're constantly walking on eggshells, suppressing your opinions, your boundaries, and your needs, and you're doing all of this just to keep her around. When she does something that crosses the line, you either let it go or you make excuses for her because at the back of your mind, you've got that constant fear like, what if she actually leaves? It's like being at a job you hate but don't want to lose. You work through lunch, laugh at your boss's jokes, and keep your mouth shut, all because fear controls every decision you make. But here's the cruel irony: the moment you start moving from fear, you become anxious. And because emotions are contagious, she feels that anxiety instantly. You might think you're creating safety by never rocking the boat, but anxiety is the opposite of safety. She can't feel secure with a man who's terrified of losing her. She can only feel safe with a man who isn't afraid to walk away. Think about it like a negotiation. If you walk into a negotiation desperate for the deal, willing to accept any terms and terrified of walking away, what happens? The other side smells it and they lowball you because they know you have no leverage. So they give you the worst possible offer. But if you walk in knowing you genuinely don't need the deal, suddenly you have all the power and they respect you and take you seriously. They actually give you better terms. Dating works exact same way. If she knows you're terrified of losing her, she controls everything. She can treat you however she wants because she knows you won't leave. But the moment you're willing to walk away, the tables turn. She realizes, wait, this guy actually has self respect and he's not desperate. And you know what? I might actually lose him if I screw this up. And that's when respect usually follows. Your willingness to walk away is what makes you attractive in the first place. At that moment, you become impossible to manipulate. And remember, women test men constantly. They push boundaries to see if you'll hold them. If you fold because you're scared of loss, you fail the test instantly. But if you're willing to walk away from disrespect, even if it means being alone, you pause because a man who knows his worth walks away from anything that falls short of his standards. But you see, even if you fix this fear, there's a second mechanism that destroys respect. You're giving her unlimited attention without getting what you want in return. Here's how this usually plays out. You start talking to a woman who shows you interest, and you're immediately hooked. You're texting her any chance you get. You're going out of your way to keep contact, and you're making plans around her schedule, clearing your weekend when she's free and being available whenever she wants to talk. You're doing all of this while she's not even mutually invested, while she probably has 10 other men trying to hook up with her. So you're giving her all of this attention, the one thing women value above all else, completely for free. And here's the problem most men don't realize. When you give something valuable away for free, it becomes worthless. A woman will always remember the man she had to chase, but rarely, if ever, the man who chased her. I know this firsthand because I made this mistake countless times. Years ago, I was so anxious to take this one girl out that I kept checking my phone every few minutes to see what she's up to. I was thinking about her constantly. Morning text, lunch text, evening text. It became such an unhealthy distraction from everything in my life. And no man who's got his life together is just waiting around, texting women all day, then being left on red, hoping she'll eventually respond. But that's exactly what I was doing. And you know what happened? She started pulling away, taking longer and longer to respond, and eventually becoming less interested because I'd given her all my attention before she'd done anything to even earn it. There was no mystery or unpredictability. I was just there. And the moment you're always available, you get rewarded with zero respect in return. So here's the shift: attention should grow in proportion to intimacy and investment. It shouldn't be a default. If she's texting you once a day, you text her once a day. If she's not initiating plans, you don't have to initiate plans either. And if she's doing both of those things long enough, she's simply not that into you. So stop giving attention for free and make her earn your investment. If she wants to see you, she will always figure out a way to make that happen. Give her space to initiate and put in effort. Don't always be the one making plans. If she's barely investing, why are you going all in? You have to learn to use absence to create a challenge so women can respect your presence. When everything is certain, all excitement is gone. Now, if you want personalized help applying this in your specific situation, if you want me to walk you through exactly what's keeping you stuck and build a clear roadmap for how to fix it, I'm offering a free 30-minute strategy call on my website. You can click the link down below. All right, let's move into the foundational problem because here's the thing. Even if you fix the fear and stop over investing your attention, there is one foundational issue that sabotages everything else. And most men don't even realize it's the root cause. You have no boundaries or personal standards in the first place. You see, most men don't know what they will and won't tolerate from women. They've never even defined what their non negotiables are or set standards for how they want to be treated. So when someone shows them interest, they accept whatever behavior comes with it, no matter how disrespectful it is. She flakes on plans and doesn't respect you. That's okay. She's probably just busy. She disrespects you in front of her friends. She's probably just being playful. She barely texts back but expects 24/7 support from you. She probably just doesn't want to seem needy. You see, you're always justifying low interest behavior that you'd never tolerate from anyone else. When you have no alternatives, you settle for whatever comes because you're not dating multiple women or turning them down. So the moment a woman shows you the slightest bit of interest, you're convincing yourself that they actually match what you want, even when they clearly don't, let's be honest. And a woman can immediately feel when she's your only choice, and it pushes her away. I learned this early on. I was seeing a girl at the time who would talk about other guys constantly, right in front of my face. She'd cancel last minute, ignore texts, even bring other guys to events and flirt with them to somehow make me jealous. And the worst part about it is that I let it happen. Why? Because I had no boundaries. I'd convinced myself she was my only option. And here's the biggest lesson I learned: the mindset you go into dating with directly reflects how women will treat you. If you carry yourself like you have no value to give, she will treat you as such, even if you have massive value to give. So know deep down what your non negotiables are. Write them down if you have to. What behavior will you tolerate and what won't you tolerate? For me, it became crystal clear. If she cancels plans last minute without rescheduling, I'm going to take a step back. If she disrespects me in public, I'm going to walk. And if she flirts with other men to make me jealous, I'm going to cut everything off. These aren't negotiable, and it actually saves you a lot of drama. They're the baseline for how I expect to be treated. And the moment you have clear standards, everything changes because you stop accepting disrespect. You stop justifying bad behavior and you can actually start filtering for women who actually meet your standards. And that's when you stop being the guy who gets walked over and actually start being the guy who can command respect. Now, to recap, if you're getting disrespected in dating and relationships, it's not because you're not good enough. It's simply because you're negotiating from a place of weakness, from fear of loss, unlimited availability, and no boundaries. The fix is very simple. Stop being afraid to walk away, make her earn your attention, and define clearly what your standards are. If you do that, you become impossible to manipulate. Now, if you want help implementing this in your life, if you want a personalized breakdown of your specific situation and a clear roadmap of what to change, you can click the link in my bio and book a free 30-minute strategy call with yours truly at centeredman.com. Links in the bio. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.